Hello, beautiful souls. Thank you so much for being here. It's been a while. It's nice to be back. I've been so busy here in Hawaii, building a tiny home, building an off-grid sanctuary, retreat center. It's all coming together. If you've been following me on Instagram, you've been seeing what I've been doing, and it is no joke, guys. I am so sore. Anyways, I have a couple announcements before we get into the podcast today. One, we are going to do a special live event tomorrow. Dridha from the Blissful Athlete, Savannah from Blissful Bohemian, we're all coming together for this special cosmic event on 11/11, and you are invited. You'll find in the link of this video and the link in the show notes a actual way for you to get on to the Ascension Train. That's right, the Ascension Train 2020. Join us for this cosmic event. Again, you will find the link in the description of this video and in this podcast. And one more quick note, we talk about nutrition. We talk about so many ways to take advantage of your year before it's too late. One of them is the powerful herbs from Ananda Ayurveda. Here at The Infinite Cup, I have a special discount for listeners only. Use code The Infinite Cup to get 10% off all the products over at Ananda Ayurveda. Just go to theinfinitecup.com for more information and get ready because 2020 is not over yet. You're going to love this show. Dridha and Savannah have this cosmic trifecta of energy as we get in tune with exactly what's going on in 2020 and how to make this the best year of your life before it's over. So without any further ado, let's get right into it. Aloha. All right. Really excited to have both of you back on the show. It's been a little while. And for those of you who are new here and you have not heard Blissful Athlete Dridha, you can go back and re-listen to the podcast that we had the full introduction on, and Savannah as well at Blissful Bohemian. She's been on the show as well. We're going to do a trifecta today of knowledge, this cosmic energy coming at you. And we're going to talk about 2020 and this incredible year in my mind. And I've had tons of transformation amidst this chaos and all this energy that we are transmuting right now. And we're just going to get down to how to really do that, how to really make this the best year of your life before it's over and going into 2021 with a fresh start and a perfect Kundalini activation. That's what the potential is here. So thanks for coming on, guys. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. As always. Nice to be here. Nice to be here with both of you. Savannah, how are you doing today?
I am flowing. I got that perfect mix of surrender discipline today.
Nice. I like it. So yeah, let's just get into it. 2020, has been an awesome year in my mind. And I just want to really talk about what's going on because there's been so much transformation, so much change happening. And, us as quote unquote spiritual people, that's really what it comes down to, is using all of this as an opportunity to really go within and practice your spiritual life. So let's start with you, Dridha, Blissful Athlete, and your practice. Just go into, how are you staying sane with this 2020 year, and how are you keeping it all together?
Yeah, obviously it's really interesting times, and my guru calls this pralaya, at this heavy energy of delusion that's just showering planet Earth right now. It's really easy to get caught up in depression and delusion, and ultimately you have to, for me, and I mean, I'm sure you guys as well, you have to really lean into your spiritual practice, your sadhana. One really important concept that I've learned along my own spiritual path is just unclutching, this meditation technique of just really releasing. And you can imagine unclutching whatever you're feeling physically and whatever is just boiling you in your mind, unclutching from whatever is arising and allowing yourself to sit in that space of just peace. Because right now it's really difficult to find that with all the chaos going on in the world. And so whether it's, getting up early during Brahma Muhurta and practicing yoga, sitting and unclutching through meditation, just contributing, doing volunteer work for a good cause. These are just some simple things that I know have helped me so much during this challenging time. And really can't emphasize enough to everybody out there that if you are struggling, like, now is the time to just focus really heavily on your spirituality and the tools and techniques that the various different enlightened masters have given us, and great people that are sharing it with the world today, like yourselves. It's really important to connect with those that are embracing these practices, experiencing the benefits, and really getting into that ecosystem and that what's called the Shakti Nipada, entangling with beings like that to help elevate that frequency and stay in that positive space right now.
Oh yeah, it's real. I love what you said with that word unclutching. Just hearing that feels so good. I mean, I look at it as, this pendulum swinging, and we're in this duality, consciousness where people are always attached to the outside and what's going on, and that's where we get caught and swept away into that ocean. And we really need to just circle back to what works. And even, I mean, it's the same thing, right? With meditation, I mean, these are the solutions that have always been there. It doesn't matter whether it's election year or people, wearing masks and viruses, whatever. It doesn't matter what's going on. There could be bombs dropping, volcanoes, whatever. The only thing that matters is that sadhana, that spiritual practice. So I completely agree with you. And even I would say more so, like it's even more important right now to have that spiritual practice, because we're in these chaotic times, because things are so stressful. You need that practice even more. Otherwise, you're just going to get sucked right into it. Would you agree, Savannah?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's like when all external is chaos, the only place to go is within.
Yeah. So how do you do that? What does that look like for you? How do you, keep everything together and do your coaching and do all the amazing energy work that you're doing? How do you keep everything afloat with this chaos happening right now?
You got to be present. You got to be present. You have to be in the present moment. You have to be where you are, mentally where you are physically, or else there's so many directions you can go. And knowing there's so many ways that you can ground into the present, but knowing that now is the only time that really truly exists, the only time that you can act in and be in, that helps. Knowing that the future is an idea and the past is gone, and now is the only time that the what is it called, like the forever now. Being present is by far the most important thing right now. Being where you are, especially if, like, for example, we just had the election. Maybe you were really like, or it was earlier last week when we didn't know what was going to happen, and maybe you wanted it to go a certain way, and we're just waiting to see the results. For example, that a lot of people had a lot of inner calamity with that.
Yeah.
And maybe during that time you wanted to self-care, maybe you wanted to take like a hot bath. If you're not able to be present in that hot bath, the self-care is surface level. It doesn't actually stick with you. It doesn't actually serve your soul or cleanse you or rejuvenate you.
Yeah.
And this is one of the hardest things for myself, is being present. So just finding something that brings you back into your body. It could be eating a delicious meal. It could be singing. It could be dancing to your favorite song. It could be so many different things, but being present and in your reality right here, right now is very important right now with all the chaos and calamity.
Yeah, could not agree more. Yeah, it's essential that we all come back to that present moment. And I look at it as like a trap, all of these things, whether it's the election or, things that are happening on the surface, and it's like trying to suck us into that drama, and we have to really do our, work, whether, like you said, taking a bath or having that delicious meal. You got to check all of those boxes to really make sure that you're living in that present moment. And that's why I always call it a daily practice, because it's not automatic. People just think it's going to happen automatically, that you're just going to wake up and be zened out and blissed out your whole life. And really, you have to put in that work in order to achieve those results,
Yeah, and there's obviously so much going on that it really is a challenge. Like, people need to understand that, just like earning money or having some sort of success in life, it takes a lot of hard work, and a lot of work that you don't see for like a professional athlete. All the practice and the time that they put into things. It's the exact same thing right now when you're locked inside your house and really trapped in there with maybe family or people that you don't necessarily vibe with, and you kind of get caught up in that frequency. And it's so important to at least find that space, whether it be your room or if you can go outside somewhere and just be in an environment where you can truly connect. And I think one of the really interesting techniques that I came across not too long ago, my guru was talking about just the Swadhisthana chakra and the Manipuraka chakra. They are there to help you digest not only food but life. So this energy is really important for us to build and encourage and kindle. And so one of the techniques that he was talking about was, if you feel like completely overwhelmed with what's going on, like let's say you have just a really big fight or all of a sudden just feeling a lot of anxiety, he goes, stop eating, start fasting, and allow those chakras, those energy centers, to digest what's going on in life, not necessarily the food. And so the more that you give yourself that opportunity to digest life on the energetic level, the better chance you're going to have to go through and sail through that experience and really download what you need to download to move beyond and really rise above that challenge and what's going on.
So true. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And I love, well said, because the digestion is way more than just food. And there's a lot to digest right now, right? Oh my gosh. We could talk all day about what's going on with the coronavirus or what's going on with the election. And like I said, these are all just little vortexes, little things that are just sucking our attention until we just get so drained and so depressed and so filled with anxiety. And that's exactly where they want you to be. And this is only luring us away, you know, from our spirit, from the inside, from the now, and getting us more projected into these illusions of the future or sucked into the past. So it really comes down to that practice and that mindfulness of just staying present in the moment and knowing there is a lot to digest that's more than just food, and getting your priorities straight. I know a lot of people have, you know, been going through changes, including, you know, all of us, and we're all adapting. That's what we do best, you know, as human beings. And we need to understand that there's a lot going on to digest, and maybe you should be eating, you know, different type of food or less food. Maybe you should be having a different self-care routine if this doesn't work, or a different meditation practice if yours isn't getting the results that you're looking for. You need to go deeper and deeper within in order to really get those results that you're looking for.
Absolutely. Well said. And I know there's a lot of different approaches on the emotional level. Savannah, the work that you're doing, it sounds like amazing. And we were just talking before coming on live how you have that closed group of people that you work with, and they're having so many breakthroughs. What is it that you're seeing or feeling that is most impactful for them right now?
Yeah.
Actually, so we're working 12 weeks together, and we're alternating one-on-one work with the mastermind. And I'm taking them up the 7 chakras, combining crown and third eye, because we have 6 weeks only in the mastermind. And we started with the root, which is grounding, right? Some of their biggest breakthroughs have been when they're doing something so simple as like putting their feet on the earth, having that bath, their nightly meditation practice. These breakthroughs, they're not this, you know, ethereal journey of climbing the mountain and crying out to the heavens and then being bestowed and like with divine knowledge and power and magic and you're struck by lightning. It's not like that at all. And it can be, but their breakthroughs are in those simple things that they are 100% present in.
Yeah. Well put. Well put. Similar. Yep. Yeah, no, I'm just saying I have similar results, and it's very interesting how those little simple components can be so profound, you know, in one's life, because that's what gets overlooked every day. Even like you're talking about something as simple as taking off your shoes and grounding your energy is profound when you're just in your head overthinking all the time and you're stuck, you know, being on the computer or being on your phone all day, as most people are, and just getting that moment to really ground and discharge all of that energy is so vital, and it just gets overlooked. You know, it's not this hippie fancy woo-woo, spiritual thing. It's actually direct science that, you can go look up for yourself in order to get those results through the negative ions that are flowing through this planet, and you need to take advantage of it. Yeah. I like this topic. Let's get a little bit deeper into like what tools. Okay, so we got grounding, we got earthing. I know, Savannah, you use singing bowls and you're into sound and sound healing. And, let's just give people some tips to go a little bit further, into that process, because that's what we're really all doing, on a daily basis. So let's get them some insider tips, something that, maybe nobody's heard of. If I were to answer that question, it would be, superfoods like Shilajit, right? Something like that. Maybe not a lot of people have even heard about. I've been talking about that recently on social media, and nobody even knows what it is. And it's like one of the number one herbs in Ayurveda for India, right? So go ahead, Dridha. I know you recently launched an amazing company, and I would love to hear about Haritaki and just more herbs that people can take a benefit, or just more, deeper things that people might have not even heard of that they can use right now during this sensitive time.
Yeah. Yeah. Herbs on the physical level is something that really does help. And Shilajit is one of those powerful ones of India. And I always kind of compare to people like in the West, everybody knows what turmeric is, right? Well, and how much benefit it has for the body. It's such an incredible compound, but we've just kind of started to realize what that is. And if you look at some of these other herbs from India, there's so many powerful herbs that have such a positive effect on your body in a lot of different ways. People are starting to understand what ashwagandha is. It's becoming more prominent, but there's two other herbs that we launched with our company, Ananda Ayurveda, that is Haritaki and Triphala powder. And these two powders are really important for detoxing and cleansing and helping, like I was just mentioning earlier, digest life, what's going on. And so we love these two sources really for anybody, whatever it is that you're going through. Haritaki can be a lot when you take it by itself. And so if you feel like you can't really, it's not palatable enough for you, you can take Triphala, which contains Haritaki, and it also has Bibitaki and Amalaki in it. So Triphala, these three herbs. And so on the physical level, definitely taking herbs is going to help, and specific ones like I just mentioned, what you talked about. And I would say really though, something that at one point, a few months ago, I completely had a really difficult time, and I stopped eating. I really tried this technique, and I completely stopped eating for a couple of days, and it 100% helped. And so if you're somebody that's open to fasting, I really would recommend doing that. But on a mental level, there's a lot that happens. And so I would really recommend something like a japa, where you're just continuously churning and repeating a sacred mantra, whether it's something that you've been initiated into or something that maybe you just really connect with. I chant what's known as the Mahavakya, Om Nityananda Paramashivoham, just continuously. I am the eternal bliss. I am Paramashiva. I am the source of the cosmos. That's what this means. And just by repeating something again and again and again, it's really tough, because you'll do it and then all of a sudden you'll be like, oh, should we have pizza tonight or something? And then I'm so pissed off. All of a sudden you're talking. You're having this whole conversation in your head. But if you have something that you can anchor yourself to, like a japa, I think that's something that can be really beneficial for people too.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah, those affirmations, those words are powerful, especially when they're repeated. We're digging that into the subconscious in order to really create that change. And I love how you put that, because yes, the lower self and the higher self become very obvious, when you start doing this work. And for those people who don't, know what that is, it's something that you have to put in that work and put in this practice, like affirmations or mantras and meditation, to really develop that awareness of the difference of the lower self and higher self, or what I call the ego. And it's something that you have to practice, that discernment. And I'm really big into keywords, that discernment, and choose the higher self consciously and say, you know what? Yes, I'm doing this mantra. I'm doing these affirmations. You know what? Maybe we'll have pizza later. Maybe we won't, but we're just doing this right now. I get in that every day, and I just want to, verbalize that, because people put me on a pedestal or something, like I'm, doing these and I'm some, perfectionist and I'm really good at it. But no, I'm doing the same affirmations, the same mantras, the same techniques I was doing 10 years ago, and it's the same thing I tell people in my inner circle group and everybody on, social media. It's nothing special here. You have to put in that work in order to get those results, and there's really no way around it. So thank you for bringing that up. And it's very powerful when you have that intention and you have that firm discipline in your sadhana, in your spiritual practice, because that's really where the root, is, that goes deeper beyond all of our problems that are on the surface. So thank you again. So Savannah, how about you? Is it just sound healing, or what would you say that, you're bringing to the table that really takes it up a notch, like past, just taking a bath or grounding your energy barefoot?
Breath work. I'm really into breath work. Is gonna, when I do my breath work, I like to visualize a fire building within me. And then so I do my tumo breathing, if you're familiar with it. It's where you go.
Yeah.
It's called tumo. Breath is also known as fire breath. You create heat with your hands and then place it over the manipura, the stomach, and then you do all the way in, all the way out, kind of fast until. And this is where I imagine the fire building, and then take a final inhale, and hold it. And then when I'm holding it, I'm imagining and visualizing that fire going throughout my entire body, cleansing and taking with it everything that doesn't serve. And then as I exhale, I'm imagining the ash of it blowing out. So this is something that is physically and spiritually cleansing you. And it's a way to move energy, both physically and spiritually. And get out what no longer serves. So breath work is when you're feeling overwhelmed, when you're feeling anxious, when you're feeling like you can't do anything, that's just one technique in the whole realm of breath work that really helps me okay, now I feel like I can breathe. Now I feel like I can think. Now let me get into my practice. That is a segue that I use to get into my practice when I don't feel like doing it. Because it cleanses and grounds me really well. So breath work. And then it's always the simple stuff, right? Meditation is the foundation for, I think, is the foundation for spiritual development, right?
Yeah.
If you can't listen, if you can't be still and listen, because the language of God is silence, then you can output, but you won't be able to take back what you're outputting. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's I like to use the analogy of an antenna. That's what we are, as just this human body, right? It's an antenna, and it's like a radio, and it's you kind of dial in that frequency based off what you're experiencing. And most people just got that static, 24/7, because they're not able to tune in to that direct frequency that they're looking for in order to achieve whatever that thing is that they're doing. So yes, the breath work is essential, and there's just countless techniques. Like the breath of fire that you're describing is very powerful, and there's just thousands of techniques that you could do in order to get those results. And it really just comes down to how efficient are you at doing that. I just call it tools on your tool belt. When can you pull that tool out, right, in order to get what you need in that moment, instead of being so reactive and so distressed in that moment. So pulling out the breath of fire tool there and just doing some breath work in order to release the energy and get some things moving is a great tool to have. And all of these are just essential tools in order to really have that calm, peaceful life that we all want, and not to get so caught up in everything on the surface.
Yeah, and so much of what we do is really about just removing the corrosion on our antennas. We just need to stop what we're doing in a lot of ways. One of the first things I would say for somebody, if you're not already a vegetarian, I would say transition to a vegetarian diet. Just experience it for a little bit and just see what that does for you. We are, science is now proving 90% of your serotonin is created in your gut. But if you're dumping meat that's in there and decaying and really rotting in your gut, that really does affect the way that you think and feel, just because of what you're eating. So if you stop corroding yourself in that way, and obviously we can talk all day about the toxins and pesticides and the things that calcify the pineal gland. But if you start to take these sacred herbs like shilajit, parataki, and start to detoxify pineal gland and the whole body, really, you're just removing corrosion, so you can really dial in to that ultimate frequency, which is that state that you are the divine. And just stop doing what you're doing. Sometimes, you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, trust me. I mean, I know myself. That's a big reason why I'm out here in the jungle in the middle of nowhere. I can't get anything delivered. I don't have mail. I don't have trash, I don't have nobody picking up my trash, nothing going on. I did this on purpose, and it's very easy to put myself in an environment where I can have, access to, fast food and pizza, and anybody wants those types of things, but you really have to put in that willpower and determination. Otherwise you're going to get sucked right into those traps there. I love the word corrosion because it makes me think of a battery, and that's what we are, right? We're this battery, and a lot of people are depleted because of that corrosive process through the standard American diet, through all of the negativity, not just from the food, but the energy from the battery, right? The magnetism that comes from it. And you don't have that magnetism, you don't have that electronic, draw if your battery isn't balanced out with that positive and negativity, right? So that is key to getting your battery just charged up and just 100%, where you can actually live and function life, because we can't function with that 10% battery full. I could barely keep my iPhone charged as it is right now, so it's like I know what it's like working just with 6% battery all day long. It's a struggle.
If your followers aren't following you on Instagram right now, they need to check it out, because you're showing and you're giving updates there that are just so cool to see. Like, you are legit living an incredible life over there, and I love watching and following you along there. So definitely, that's a call to action for people, is check out Robert's Instagram if you haven't yet.
He's building a literal house.
Yeah. Yes, so many irons in the fire right now, and it's incredible, and it's all part of what we're talking about too, because that's, like I said, it's a conscious decision to be here, and in order to create that, because you have to get rid of those distractions. I mean, just me being in the jungle and having this place of serenity and peace, where there is no light pollution, there is no sound pollution, the moon and the stars are out I see thousands of stars every single night.
So
the rain is just so, like, it feels so good when it rains. It's not something that you want to run indoors and hide from. You know what I mean? It's like embracing all of nature, embracing everything. I'm getting dirty and muddy and wet every day, and just all of these things. I'm just loving it, So I think all of this really just comes back down to environment, because for me, I just understand how, sensitive I am to environments, especially when I was living in LA. I know you're there right now, Dridha, and just being there, dude, you have a 15% life expectancy is gone. 15%. Did you know that? 15%. Yeah, it's a real deal. Yeah, and that's just from the air quality I'm talking about. That's just from the air, not even to mention the other things like 5G or whatever. So I'm just saying, just from the air quality perspective alone, 15% of your life expectancy is gone just from being in LA. So me starting a family, me going into these deeper values, I had to ask myself, what do I really want to contribute to this world and teach my son and my kids, and definitely just having a place where it's just nature all around you and fresh water, and something as simple as clean water and clean food is so overlooked right now. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I talk about this on social media all the time. People have no idea what spring water is, and they think it just comes from a bottle and just something. I don't buy anything, people. I'm getting it straight from nature. It's free. It's the way nature wanted us to live, and all we have to do is go back to that, and it's so much easier. That's it. Yeah.
You're living the dream.
It takes a lot. I'm not going to lie, though. You have to, deprogram all that conditioning that we got used to. I grew up with the fast food. I grew up with, delivery system, all that kind of stuff, all those conveniences. I get it. And it takes a lot of willpower to kind of strip that away from your life and, reprogram yourself from a more, natural perspective, because I get it. It's very convenient and easy to live in that matrix and live into that, society where everything kind of is comfortable and fast all the time. And it gets really addicting, and your nervous system gets reprogrammed to that level. And trust me, it's really a path of going within. And if you're not already having some sort of meditation or already some sort of spiritual practice, I would not advise going straight to the jungle or straight to the mountains or straight to the forest, because all your stuff is going to come magnified right up to you. And I am not even lying whatsoever. And it is real. And it doesn't matter how quote unquote spiritual you think you are, it's going to happen either way. Yeah.
Yeah. I can only imagine.
All the distractions are gone.
Exactly. And you're in it. Yeah, that's it. And this is another auspicious time, leading up to 11/11. We're having an awesome event tomorrow I'm excited about. And there's going to be a great opportunity for everybody to get in tune with this energy that we're talking about and whittle away from their worries and problems of life and really just, unclutch, right? And get into that energy. So I'm really excited about that. So just give a little tidbit about what we're going to do tomorrow and just anything you want to add to that topic as far as 11/11 and just being a very auspicious day and how people can take advantage of that.
Yeah, I know I'm really excited about just the three of us coming together. We're focusing on that trifecta, the mind, body, and soul, and working through each one of those layers that of our existence. And so I'm grateful to be able to come and be involved and teach some yoga asanas, authentic traditional asanas with coming from with scriptural reference, so you're getting something that's going to be very powerful, help awaken the Kundalini Shakti within you, awaken the body. And I think so I can't wait until after the yoga class as well, just to really lay down in Shavasana and then just have Savannah take over.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Awesome, brother. Yeah. How about you, Savannah? You excited to play the bowls? Excited to do some sound healing? Excited to get people's Shakti pod ready? Get all of this happening, all of this energy uplifting everybody?
Yeah, a couple of people have already DM'd me that they've booked and they're excited. And I was like, I'm going to make you cry so much. It's all going to come out. It feels so cathartic and cleansing. Just wait.
Yeah, it's going to be powerful. That's for sure. I can't wait for my own experience, never mind those that are going to come and attend, because this is going to be something for each one of us and for everybody that's coming together, where we talked about this the other day, and like all over the world, people are going to be able to gather together and be in this space and really create an energy field of something that's going to really help heal themselves and the world, and get to a space where we can start to deal with and, like you said before, take something positive from this year, because there's been so many challenges for a lot of people. And I think the tools and techniques that each one of us is going to give is really going to help with that.
Yeah. Yeah, could not agree more. I look at it like, we're just channeling that energy, right? We're all just this medium or this, bridge point to the cosmos, to these spiritual dimensions. And that's all we're doing is we're tapping into that, soaking it up, expanding our cup as much as we possibly can, and then bringing that back down here to planet Earth to share with other people. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're throwing the invite out to other people who want to take advantage of this very auspicious time and this event. And it's just going to be really exciting. I'm really looking forward to it.
For sure. And I love, like, we talked about this a long time ago, just the concept of infinite cup, expanding your cup, really, like, in a way, that's what this is. We're all expanding our cup to hold and radiate that infinite. And it's going to be an experience, though. Like, that's what we talked about. This isn't something where you're going to necessarily just take some notes and whatnot. You're coming to experience something very profound, and we got a 2-hour event where we're going to be doing this live with you, and it's just going to be a sacred space that I know I'm going to be grateful to be a part of, and I know whoever does take part in it as well is going to experience something powerful.
Awesome. Yep. Could not agree more. Okay. So let's wrap this up. Let's leave our listeners and viewers here with one last little tidbit for 2020. It's almost over, right? We just got a couple more months. They've already shut down all the holidays, no Thanksgiving, no Black Friday, no Christmas. You can't gather. You can't be with anybody, right? And none of that matters because you have everything that you need right here within you. Right. That's really the sweet spot. That's really what I look at all of this is it doesn't matter what turmoil and chaos is happening. It's how efficient you are about going within. What does that practice look like for you? So how can we send people off with just a little more juicy goodness for them to take that next step on their journey to really go within, even though it's difficult, even though they don't want to do it, even though they're overthinking and distracted and concerned about what Joe Biden is going to do to our country or whatever. All that matters is we are going to really have the most cosmic time of our lives, no matter what.
Something I've been telling the clients that I work with as a mantra is aligned to love in the present moment.
Beautiful.
And a way that you can quickly do that is just what you just did, Robert, is putting your hand over your heart. there's a wellspring of love energy, which is healing, that sits right here on your chest. And you can tap into it just by putting one or both hands on it and taking a deep breath.
Yeah, beautiful. And I would probably maybe just reiterate what I said before and just really learn this concept of unclutching. There's so much going on that we can't control and maybe we want to hold on to. And it just comes down to having that strength just to let go. And that's really a skill, a technique, something that everybody can easily start to harness and embrace. And it is something so powerful just to learn to unclutch and release things.
Yep. Beautiful. Well said. Can't wait to do it together with all of you tomorrow and on a collective level. And I could not agree with more. I mean, you really have to learn to let go. And that's the most efficient way to really get into that peace and get into that Zen state. And that's really what it comes down to. So, well, awesome, guys. Thanks again for coming on. Appreciate you. Much gratitude, infinite love, infinite blessings. You guys enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you, Robert.
Aloha.
Thanks for having us here as always.